Frooglesim videos are powered by Jetline Systems.
Hello YouTube, this is Frugal and this is the Frooglesim news for today, Thursday, June the 17th. First up, the huge news. Microsoft Flight Sim is coming to Xbox. Microsoft have always said that ultimately Microsoft Flight Simulator will be available on both Xbox and PC. This week they put a date on it. If you're an Xbox Series X or S owner, you'll be able to fly MSFS on your console from July 27th. Even better, if you already own the PC version, you'll have the Xbox one for free. All your PC MSFS marketplace purchases will be available to you on the Xbox as well, but DLC purchased on Steam will not be. Similarly, nor will vendors that you use, third-party vendors like Orbex. Achievements are also shared across both platforms as well. Now, in the FAQ published this week, the question is asked as to what the differences between the two platforms are, and Microsoft's answer, this is why it's big news, is that there are none. In reality, though, there actually are quite a few. First of all, there's no guarantee that any add-ons purchased outside of the marketplace will work on your Xbox. It all comes down to how much custom coding was used to deliver the add-ons and whether or not the add-on makers have chosen to support Xbox as a platform. Second, the list of peripherals supported is vastly different to the PC. On day one, the Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS 1, T-Flight Rudder, and Hori HOTAS Flight Stick are the only controllers supported. No VR, no Track IR, no Honeycomb, VirtualFly, Logitech, and so on. That said, hardware manufacturers are working on new add-ons which will work on both the PC and the Xbox, which is a great segue into the Velocity One from Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach this week announced their new Velocity One universal control system with the lofty claim that it offers, in quotes, the most immersive, authentic flying experience on the market. End quotes. I actually have friends with full replica cockpits at their homes that would probably dispute that claim. Regardless, the Velocity One is a combined yoke and throttle system with a multifunction display in the center of the yoke, combined TQS-style throttle, and Vernio-style throttle prop mixture controls. The unit also has a built-in trim wheel and a ton of buttons both on the yoke and on the throttle pedestal, as well as a complete set of warning annunciators. Out of the box, the Velocity One supports both Xbox and PC, but we don't have any idea of availability or price just yet. Similarly though, new Honeycomb controls are coming. FS Elite this week, links in the show notes below, carried a news story talking about Honeycomb Aeronautical also making big changes to their controls lineup in the wake of the Xbox announcement. The Tango Foxtrot Flight Stick and Throttle is a detachable yoke and throttle unit with twin throttle levers and thrust reversers, as well as a toga switch, auto throttle disconnect, speed brakes and flaps levers, along with rudder trim, parking brake, fire suppression levers, and a mass of additional programmable buttons and rotary knobs. It will be compatible with the Xbox and PC when it goes on sale later this year and will cost you $249.99. If you just want the stick on its own though, the Foxtrot Flight Stick will retail for $99.99 with an add-on that you can buy to customize the stick for left-handed use, retailing for $29.99. Also from Honeycomb, the Charlie rudder pedals are due out later this year, featuring a heavy belt system to make them feel like the real deal in most GA aircraft. The Charlie rudder pedals will ship with multiple carpet spikes and a weight system to further plant the pedals to the ground. The pedals are going to cost you $249.99 as well, while the weights will retail for $29.99. Now, the Charlie pedals are PC only, but Honeycomb also announced this week they're going to start selling a hub for $29.99 to connect to the Xbox that lets you move all your existing Honeycomb controls over to the Xbox as well. Finally, the current Alpha flight controls are also going to be phased out with a new unit coming in at $249.99 that is compatible with the Xbox as well as PC. For more info and all the details, head on over to the fselite.net link in the show notes below. Next big news this week was the PMDG DC6 getting a release date, which is actually tomorrow. The next big news for MSFS is that PMDG are about to arrive in the sim. Tomorrow, June 18th, they will release their DC6 for Microsoft Flight Sim. Now, according to the announcement on the PMDG forums, this is not simply a port of the existing DC6 from X-Plane and Prepared. Instead, this was built from the ground up to take full advantage of the new features in MSFS, and according to PMDG is, in quotes, the most detailed simulation in our product line, end quotes, which is a huge claim for PMDG, with MSFS itself apparently affording the team the ability to model the aircraft in a level of detail that they have never been able to do before. Now, with 4 massive radial engines, the DC6 can be a handful to manage, so the MSFS version also includes an automated flight engineer, allowing you to delegate complex aircraft systems systems management to an automated system if you so choose. There's nothing stopping you, though, just diving in, studying your brains out, and spending months mastering every nuance of this magnificent aircraft. Now, at the time of recording, the price and actual release time haven't been confirmed, but stay tuned to PMDG's own website or Facebook page for more info on that. Another huge release now, but in the world of DCS World, and that is that the DCS Hind is now available. Over in the world of DCS, EVGA Dynamics surprised everyone yesterday by releasing the early access version of the Mi-24P Hind. Now, I covered this in preview last week, I think, but to summarize, the Hind is a bit of a legend. It's a massive monster of a Russian military helicopter able to serve double duty as both a formidable attack helicopter and troop transport. It features both front and rear cockpits, a built-in AI to take the seat you're not flying in, multi-crew support, professional flight dynamics, and stunningly detailed systems modeling, as well as full weapon support. At this point in time, some of the features are reduced, though it is early access, most notably that you don't get all the weapons. Early access for the Mi-24P Hind for DCS World is available right now for a discounted $55.99, rising to $69.99 after the initial introduction period. More information can be found at the digitalcombatsimulator.com link in the show notes below. Finally, but sticking with DCS, is the DCS Free Trial. Keen to attract new pilots to the unfriendly skies of DCS World, EVGA Dynamics this week also unveiled a rather cool free trial system. In the new system, you can download aircraft or maps, not campaigns, and try them out for 14 days. At the end of the 14-day period, the trial ends and you'll need to wait 6 months to retry whatever it is you just trialed. You are, however, completely free to switch over to different aircraft to try that out for 14 days, and then another, and so on. DCS World is free itself, and this is, I think, a pretty fantastic way to let users try out the aircraft available in the sim without having to hand over a chunk of cash first. To get started, check out the video that you're watching right now, linked in the show notes below, and then, of course, download DCS World. That's it for this week's news episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. My name is Frugal, and I will see you very soon.